All right, hey everybody, we are streaming live on Twitch. Hey, it's Jeff Reed, founder of theChurch.digital. Look, at least on my screen, I was messing with some of the settings yesterday, and it looks like it's literally has my title now, founder of theChurch.digital, underneath, like down there. I don't know if that's actually showing up in the feed. I hope not, because I did not mean it to do that. But anyway, yeah, it does. I'm looking at it on Twitch and it's there. That's kind of egotistical. I'll take that off. That's a little weird, but it's great to hang out with you here on Twitch. We've got some people. Looks like Whitebeard is in the house. Ukulele is in as well. Ukulele, thanks for popping in. It's fun seeing you around and looking forward to getting to know you more in the upcoming weeks and months to come. Man, I have missed being on a stream. We do the podcast. We did a series. Actually, we had scheduled, Megan Carter had done the mental health season 8 of the Church Digital podcast with us. And it just worked out for her schedule that we did every podcast episode Tuesday at 1 p.m. Eastern or so. And so we just always stacked it, normally, I'm streaming then. So just, let's do the podcast then. And, I love doing the podcast and interviews and talking with other people, but oh my gosh, it is so therapeutic to literally just have the conversation talk. I was talking with a mentor of mine who was watched on demand, one of the other streams that I'd done. I guess it was like 90 minutes or so. And he just was like, Jeff, how do you like talk for 90 minutes without stopping? And he's like, what do you like? What does your script look like? And I'm like, script? What do you mean script? I don't have I rarely ever, like, I wrote 6 words on my, I've got a whiteboard desk here. I wrote 6 words. That's my script for today. And so, but I'm like, you just go. And I know like Flatcap's laughing because 90 minutes is nothing for a true streamer. That's your warm up. Things don't even get going before you get 90 minutes into this thing. And so, but we are, oh my gosh, I'm so excited. So excited to hang out with you guys. Today's been a very good day. Like I want to, we're going to get into one more thing in a little bit, but I got to warm myself up in the conversation. So, hey, today was the first time my son played bass in a worship band. Like literally, I was, it's 1:00 Eastern, 12:30. I was walking away from his school. He goes to a Christian school. My wife teaches at the school. Simon just texts in Discord, have a good time. Blessings from Bratislava. Does anybody know where Bratislava is? Like, I'm assuming that's a Eastern European city. I don't. Is there a country called? I don't even know where this guy's at. But I that's why I love hanging out with Simon, because he like stretches my geographical knowledge. My father was a geography teacher in middle school, and so yeah, I channel that like passion for social studies and geography into my relationship with Simon and some of you other global people. But anyway, my son played bass in a worship band. There was a drummer. It was a high school kid that was the drummer. My son's in 8th grade. A middle school kid, an 8th grader, that was playing electric guitar. One of the teachers was playing acoustic, and there were maybe 5 or 6 singers up for this middle school band. And my son freaking nailed it. Like I'm so proud. He told me, this was before school started. The week before school started, I was at like the back to school night. Since my wife teaches there, I have to go to all the school stuff. Word revolution, can't get sound to work. What am I doing wrong? If you mouse over the image, I think usually when it opens up, the video is, you can't hear me. Somebody help her. Love literally telling her what to do when she can't hear me. That is so Jeff Reed right there. Oh my gosh. Somebody help her. Somebody text her in chat and help her get that figured out. If you're around Flatcap, that'd be good. But anyway, I was, so my son, I got to tell a story, man. I got to brag on my boy. So I walk up to the guitar teacher, introduces me to the guitar teacher, and my son plays electric guitar. Now he's not that great electric, He's all right. He's learning. He was in 7th grade last year. And the bass player, he says that he's excited to play electric in the worship band. And my son says, he says, well, or no, the teacher says, we really need bass players this year, CJ. And my wife says, oh, CJ has on his Christmas list to get a bass as well. He wants to learn. And I said to the teacher, I said, you're looking for bass players right now. He says, yeah, there's nobody in middle school that's playing bass. And I said to CJ, I said, CJ, you want to learn bass? He says, yeah, I'm really excited to. And I said, if you shake your guitar teacher's hand right now, that you will learn that you will play bass in the worship band. We'll go this weekend. Forget Christmas. I'll go to Guitar Center right now. We'll buy you that bass. And you don't have to put it on your Christmas list. We'll cover it. And so they shook, they agreed to, and where are we? We're still in the month of September, right? We're not in October yet. We're still in the month of September. And he's playing bass for the first time in a band. So that was a father win moment. I texted the pastor at the physical church I go to and and the worship leader, who's trying to recruit CJ to play for the worship band. So I texted him the photo and told him the song list. So they're going to start to do those songs to try to get my son to play for the church plant that I go to. And so anyway, exciting times. Another exciting thing, and man, Word Revolution is having a problem, huh? But another exciting thing on the list is okay. This is going to be weird. I'm about to make it real for you people. This is called a shoe. I'm wearing shoes, actual shoes, like shoes that go on your feet for the first time in a year and a half. This is actually this is a custom shoe that's made for people with neuropathy and leg problems. But I have had so much pain even putting on a shoe like this that I literally I wear slippers. Honest to God, I wear slippers when I go outside of my house. And so people kind of the people who don't know me oh man, those are cool looking shoes. And they're kind of snickering under their breath. People who know me, Jeff, you look like an idiot. You're wearing slippers, because that's all I could wear publicly. And today is the first day that I'm actually the leg pain and the feet pain is low enough that I can wear shoes. I'm kind of pushing myself a little bit here because I'm curious what I'm going to be able to do in Korea. I mean, I'd rather not have to wear slippers everywhere in Korea. But I don't know. So I'm taking shoes with me. I've got 2 shoes on. I'm wearing actual socks, not even therapeutic socks, like normal socks. I'm almost like human. I'm a real boy, dang it. So it's anyway, that's the craziness that's my life right now. What's crazy with you? Have we got you'd fit in with slippers? Man, I make slippers look good. I've got 2, man, they look like slippers, but they're this textured pattern look, and they look really, really good when I wear them. And so they're really stylish. And then there's this pair that's solid black, and you can't even tell they're slippers because it's all black and it's got leather on it. It's reinforced, so when people step on your foot, it doesn't hurt. It looks good. And then I've got this brown pair that looks like my dad's slippers from the 1970s, but they're so dang comfortable. And so it's that. That was my go-to shoe until now. Right here, baby. I am wearing I don't know if you can see the Kuru. There you go. Kuru. Yeah, it's something to deal with the it's not plantar fasciitis. What you need to know, plantar fasciitis, it has on reinforcement on the heel, in the middle of the foot, which is horrible. That's where a lot of the pain is. I need reinforcement at the toes and the heel, and that's what Kuru does. And they do that. So if you're like me and you can't even wear normal shoes, Kuru.com. Tell them Jeff Reed sent you. The following stream is paid in part by notkuru.com. I wish Kuru.com. So I should probably talk about something that's more related. Shoes are, I think shoes are overrated, but I work out of my house all the time. And so the people that, actually work in the real world outside of their guest bedroom may, want to have a little more there. Hey, did we get Word Revolution? Is she in here? Is she in the room? she listening yet? We are streaming, by the way. I'm clicking refresh to see if it's working. It's not working. Dang it! Why is this not working? We were supposed to be streaming live on YouTube, and for whatever reason, we didn't make it to YouTube. I'm not sure why. We'll have to dig into the tech of this later. But I ran a test yesterday and streamed to YouTube and Twitch at the same time. And so we're looking forward. Twitch is nice. Really looking forward to getting into YouTube. We're going to get more into that. Stop rushing me. It's a stream. We're going to get there in a little bit. Hey, so we had some major announcements last week. I was broadcasting out of my my parents' house because the internet was out at my house for like it was actually out of town. It was out of it wasn't working at my house 4 different times last week for different issues every time. And one of them down actually broke the cable modem, which ended up breaking my my Google Mesh network, which is so old that it's no longer supported by Google, and so I'm having to bring in a whole flipping new network into the house, and whole flipping, that's a quote. And fact is that I have 2 different internet service providers coming into the house because I'm like, dang it, I don't want. I don't want internet out. I don't want the stress, of having to run around trying to find internet at the most inopportune time. And so we've actually got, pray for me. We have Xfinity cable modem coming in, but there's no fiber. So people are like, why aren't you doing Google Fiber? Why aren't you doing AT&T Fiber? Why aren't you? It's not available because I've got coral rock underneath me and nobody trenches. It's all above ground internet. And so I've got a cable modem. Hey, Eric, how's it going? I've got a cable modem coming in, which is horrible. And that was the only thing I had, and it was always falling out. And it's like, well, I need something a little more dependable than that. And so we're actually trying the T-Mobile, was it LTE over air home networks, where it just pulls LTE and turns it into. That's actually what I'm streaming on right now. I'm not even. I haven't got the router fixed where it's connected together, and really don't have the mesh network set up, but just have that running. And so I've actually been impressed at the quality of the LTE networks. But yes, I am aiming for. I mean, yes, redundancy is a big reason why I want the second network. I'm trying to figure out how to have it like not just be a fail-safe, but also be active and then fall back to it. And so I bought an ASUS router that I tried to look at the settings last night, and I was tired. It was a long day, and I was like, I don't want to get into this. So I was hoping to get everything set before Korea, and that's not going to happen. So I'll probably don't tell my family, but I'm leaving them kind of a half network, and so hopefully they survive. If not, life goes on. All right. So last week we had some announcements. We were talking about the Church Digital version 9. We are in season 9 of the Church Digital. It's ironic. We just finished season 8 of Digital Mental Health on the podcast. Got season 9 coming up, and just in time for the 9th launch, the 9th version of the Church Digital. And we are announcing now and in Korea that the Church Digital is becoming a digital missionary sending agency. And there was a lot of questions, a lot of, wait, what? How does that work? Conversations that are centered around it. We still love digital church planting. We still love digital discipleship. Both of those are contingent in making digital missionaries. But we were literally finding that a lot of the people that were hanging out with us and that were working with us, they're not planting churches, and they don't need help with the discipleship system. They've got a great discipleship system. What they really needed was to be equipped to be digital missionaries. And so we modified our process. We're going now, we're connecting to people. This is what the Church Digital does. We're connecting with people digitally or physically at conferences, but the people we're connecting with, we want to get them into a community. You ever heard of Discord? And so the connections get to community. And within the communities where we build the relationships to the point of where we can now equip them to be digital missionaries, we build the trust that gives us the ability to start to equip them to be digital missionaries. And the final step is when we want to mobilize them. We want to send them out. We want to help them get connected, not just in the classroom learning stuff, but give them real world experience, hands-on experience with people that are in that field. Some people would call it an internship. Some people would call it an apprenticeship. We're calling them outposts, where we can send people out and get them equipped. It's interesting. I was talking about Simon a minute ago. Simon Dirks, he's with Cloud Kirsch, a German church planting network that runs through the Church Digital, and we've worked very closely with Simon in his Western European context. Simon is in Bratislava, um, wherever that is. I got an email from Simon. Let me actually see what that email said, because that might explain and be relevant to this conversation. No. Was that a DM? He sent me something when I was at CJ school, and I was like, okay. Dang it. He said he was in Bratislava. He got there. He was on a train. He was traveling. He got there early, but he was speaking to it was either 50 or 200. It was just a quick read, but he was speaking to either 50 or 200 digital mission leaders from Eastern. I think he said Eastern Europe. But Simon's a great example of somebody that we, the Church Digital, we've been investing in the resources, and he's been multiplying that out. And so, like, the opportunity for us with the Church Digital is to turn Simon, we're using the language outpost, where Simon's going to become an outpost leader. What the work that he's doing through his digital church network connected to the Church Digital. Well, now we've got the ability to connect people to him, people that go through our equipping cohorts. We can send them to Simon, where they're educated in digital ministry, ready to go. They just need some real world experience on how to contextualize what they're doing in Western European or Eastern European context. And to some level, we're already doing that, where we've connected to people. Simon's in Germany. We've connected Austrians to him. We've connected Spaniards to him. We've connected, I think, a French couple as well. And so, like, we're sending people to Simon so that Simon, in Simon's context, can help get them aware. Now, is there a difference between digital church in Germany and France and Austria? Probably. I know there was a guy that was doing some like, it was Hungary. He was a missionary in Hungary, but wanted digital, but it was a German context in Hungary. And yes, there's going to be some nuances in that, but Simon in his context is going to be fully aware to navigate that. And so Simon, with his outpost, is just one example. Like, there's other outpost leaders that we're talking to. Tope, with what he's doing in Africa. At some level, even the stuff that we're doing with the metaverse mission trips is an example of that in the context. And so we've got this level, we call it platform as places, where we, as a sending agency, we look at platforms like virtual reality, like Discord, like Twitch, like Facebook or Instagram or TikTok or YouTube. We look at these platforms in the same ways that a typical missions agency is going to look at places like, I don't know, Africa or South Africa or China or Brazil or Canada. So wherever it is, we look at platforms the way that they look at places. Platforms have different cultures. They've got different environments. There's different ways to reach them, and within these different cultural adaptations, there's different contextualizations that we can do. And so it's important for us to, if we're really going to go in on digital ministry, I am not talking broadcasting your church service online. There are churches that do that, and that's necessary. I can have that conversation with you. I'm talking to the digital missionaries. I'm talking to the people that are diving into the culture, that are adapting their ministry to the culture environments that they're in, that understand that reaching somebody on Twitch is completely different than reaching somebody on Facebook, and that streaming from one to the other is not, it's not equal. It's not carbon copy. You have to contextualize to be effective digitally. Those are the people that we're working with the Church Digital. And we are excited to take this idea of digital missionaries maybe to a new level, and even to a new audience as we're heading out to Korea. Like, it's going to be a really exciting experience for us heading in out there. Now, all this being said, there's a new thing that we're rolling out. So we brought some of our outpost leaders together. We had Simon. We rolled out all these changes, announced them. Actually, it was last Thursday, last Tuesday, last Thursday. When was it? It was late last week, right? Thursday. It was Thursday afternoon last week. And so we did a meeting Wednesday, our leadership meeting with the central leadership team, me, JMO, Andy, Barbara, and Flat Cap. The five of us do our meeting basically every Wednesday. And for this meeting, because Korea's coming up, I wanted to invite the outpost leaders in, some of our global ones, our local location specific ones. Anesh, Utope, and Simon joined. Hey, come on, join this call. Anesh is doing some stuff, is launching some stuff in India for us, and he's lives in Seattle, but he's Indian background culture. Obviously, Tope's in Nigeria, Africa, and then Simon's Europe. And so I started a conversation with him. They knew about all the changes. Hey, we have a potential to get in front of thousands of people in the next week, and that's going to ramp up outposts. We don't want to send them to where you're going. What do you need? Like, what you're capable of. The resources of what the Church Digital is. What we're providing you. What's missing? What do you need to handle 100 people connected to your ministry? Like, let's get real. What do you need to handle that load? As my dog barks in celebration. And it was funny. I did not expect what the answer was. What they told me surprised me. All three of them said, hey, Discord's nice, but if we're going to reach people in our context, we need to be on WhatsApp. Now, I knew WhatsApp was coming. I don't know if you know WhatsApp or are familiar with that. Globally, 200 million active users, monthly active users on WhatsApp. 200 million. By the way, here in the United States, 10 million. 190, what is that, 95% of, honestly, God, I Googled these stats the other day. 95% of the active users of WhatsApp are not located in the United States. That is a phenomenal stat. US, I'm not being egotistical here, the majority of the US leads out on technical adaptation, adoption. For whatever reason, US people can't spell WhatsApp. And in the global space, holy cow, it is huge. I know here in Miami, where I live, everybody uses WhatsApp. We're the exception to the rule. But the reason everybody in Miami uses it is because they're all talking to their family members and friends down in Latin and South America, Central America. Like, it's the global influence is why WhatsApp is on my radar as a user. But recognizing, hey, it doesn't quite have the power of Discord. Like, the ability to stream in and the communities is a new concept really within the past year or so that they've developed. But the adoption rates of WhatsApp is huge. Now, what I had always assumed was, Tope needs WhatsApp. He does. Like, the African, the cell phones with the bandwidths and the accessibility of the internet, WhatsApp or Discord's a hog on that. Like, it takes up too much bandwidth, and so he'll have to move over eventually. If we do something in Asia, chances are it's going to be in an area where we're going to need to get more a lower bandwidth, and so WhatsApp's going to be that solution. But my plan was, I'll just be honest here, it's just us talking, right? My plan was to say, hey, we'll roll that out. Like, we'll let that be their problem. We'll have the main community of Discord, and then they, anybody that wants to go into WhatsApp, well, they can create their own WhatsApp and they can do their own thing and just build their own community in there. But we're decentralized. That's not my problem. We'll just let them have the freedom to do that. And it was really intriguing to me how I found all three of these guys, all three capable leaders in this space said to me, and I'm not outing them, like this isn't a bad thing, but all three of them said, Jeff, we need a community to attach to build off of. What you're doing in Discord, and by the way, props to Andy Mage. What Andy Mage, Chino Mage, what Leighton at a relations, what these guys are doing in what's in Discord is phenomenal. We're 450 people in like 4 months. And it's like, it's beautiful. Barbara, how she's managing communication and getting us aligned. Like it's a thing of beauty. And all three of our leaders, all three of our outpost leaders, global, are looking at me and saying, we need you to do that in WhatsApp. Now, the funny thing is, let's just pause here for a second. We, the Church Digital, we used to have two communities. I don't know if you remember this. There's this thing called Mighty Networks, right? And so in the back of my mind, I'm like, crap, we just killed Mighty Networks. We said we're going to go into one community. We're going to focus on one thing. And now they're saying, in order to reach the world, in order to really take digital missions to a new level, in order for us to disciple people in digital space in these contexts across the planet, we need you to break your rule and go into two communities. And in the back of it was funny. We ended the meeting. I didn't talk about it. I didn't reach out to leadership. I kind of was like, I need to sleep on this. Like I'm not, because in my mind, I'm like, leadership's going to hate me. We're going to do this. We have to go into WhatsApp, and they're not going to be okay going to WhatsApp. Like, because we said we were doing one community and it was Discord. My dog came in to say, hey, I think she hears I'm like really animated today. You want to say hi? No? She just was, what's today? Tuesday? I don't know why she's worked up. Anyway, so the next morning, I texted during the night, hey, let's get together for some quick calls, some stand-up calls and Google Meet, whatever. And I'm so proud of the team. Almost to the T, every one of them, every conversation I had with leadership. Like, Jeff, why are you asking this question? Of course we've got to go into WhatsApp. Of course we have to go into WhatsApp. Like, it wasn't, here she comes. It wasn't even a question of whether we should or should not. Like, we didn't really talk about why. We immediately went into how. How are we going to do this? And, I was so proud. Within 24 hours of the initial conversation with the outpost leaders, we made the decision. And so this would be Thursday morning. Last week, Thursday morning, 2 hours before the town hall meeting, we made the decision to open up into WhatsApp. We even we're running, like, instead of me prepping for whatever it is I should have been prepping for, the slides and all that, the internet was working fine at that point at my house. But like we were running tests on WhatsApp and creating like test communities and figuring out branding and all that stuff. I'm so proud of the team. It's funny. I was actually writing a fundraising letter, and I have no idea the cost of running an additional community. I don't know what it's going to cost financially in man hours and in time. Time I'll have to see. I don't know. To be honest, I don't know where that money's coming from. The Church Digital is operating on this principle. If God opens the door, we're going to go through it. And when God opened the door, I believe this, experiencing God. I believe God speaks through scripture. God speaks through prayer. God speaks through the Holy Spirit. God speaks through circumstances. I believe God speaks through other people. And when three people that I strongly respect look at me and say, Jeff, we need you to do this to help our ministry be more effective, God just spoke and said, time to go into WhatsApp. And so we are. We are launching, effective today, a WhatsApp community for the Church Digital. You can get there. It's all over the website. You can go over to the Church Digital, and now next to every Discord icon, there's a WhatsApp icon. Or you can simply go to a web browser at whatsapp.thechurch.digital. Whatsapp.thechurch.digital. Subscribe to our channel. What's on the channel? I don't know. That's what we're trying to figure out. And we've got, I don't know, 4 days to make that happen because we're going to be in Korea effectively, actually 6 days. Monday, we'll be standing in front of people talking about digital missionaries and connecting them to our Discord and our WhatsApp channels. So, by the way, there's going to be a massive influx of international coming in, and that's awesome. We're excited about that. We want to see more of that happen. But as a result, we're pivoting some things. There's some just things to be aware of. Thank you, Flat Cat, for posting that link. There's some things just to be aware of. Like, we're going to be doing stuff in Discord and in WhatsApp. Now, do you need to be in both? Maybe. Is there going to be differences in both? Well, yeah, because the things that you would do in Discord, the culture of Discord and the people that you would engage with in Discord, maybe a little different culture and adaptation to who's in WhatsApp. And so, like, it was funny, an early conversation with us. The technology exists that we can, Zapier or whatever the sync is, there's multiple ways to sync Discord and WhatsApp channels. So what happens in Discord goes to WhatsApp, and what happens in WhatsApp goes to Discord. We thought about that for about 3 seconds. Maybe it was 5. But at the end of the day, we said we didn't want to mirror it. It's 2 separate communities with the same purpose, but it's different audiences. And because it's audiences, we wanted to separate it. Barbara Carnero, the one thing that she taught me in this year, and the best lesson that I've learned in 2024 overall, is you'll never be disappointed by niching smaller. And rather than trying to create a shoe that fits everybody, let's create a Discord community to reach the Discord people, and let's create a WhatsApp community that's going to reach the WhatsApp people. Because my gut is they're 2 different base. I mean, even just at the, yes, Utope fits in with at Discord, but the technological issues that he's got coming in and the limitations on WhatsApp platform compared to Discord, like, it's going to be a different feel within that community. Streams, stuff like what we're doing here now, we're going to continue doing that. And it'll exist in WhatsApp and in Discord. All open office hours will exist. Figure out how to do it obviously in Discord, and we'll do it in WhatsApp. But what you may find is we may end up falling back on other platforms. Now, we outgrew is not the right word, but some technical limitations in Discord really hurt our stream, my stream, the broadcast, the recording for the podcast and things like that. And so, we moved to Twitch. Well, even globally at the Twitch level, it's hard on some of these other national levels. And by the way, I mentioned in the town hall meeting that our goal, if it's legally and ethically able for us to hack YouTube or at least own the algorithm as much as possible for the kingdom, that's what we're going to do. Like, we are aggressively going after YouTube in 25. And as a result of that, our focus is going to be more on streaming towards YouTube and getting those YouTube links out there. Does that hurt the Twitch people? Okay. Maybe I can do both. Okay. Maybe we'll phase 1 and go the other. I don't know. We're figuring it out. But at the end of the day, we will use complementary platforms to achieve our goal of connecting with people, building community with those people, equipping them to be digital missionaries, and mobilizing them in that space. If I got to use, I'm laughing here, if I got to use Roblox, if I got to use a typewriter, if I can do that effectively using Indian smoke signals, I'll use it for the kingdom. Method doesn't matter to me. By the way, I'm a white bald man with a goatee. I'm recognizing that there's this thing called imperialism, that, it's the white man in the mission world. It's the white man coming in to save the day. Jason Morris is going to do a podcast on this once we get back from Korea. Like, digital imperialism, where we know what's going on and we need to tell, like, that is so wrong. And that is so evil. That is such not a kingdom or a godly or a Christ-centered idea. Instead, we're coming along and partnering and helping, positioning ourselves as the learner, wanting to come in and learn their culture and help them adapt these ideas in their culture. I have no idea how to do connect, community, equipping, and mobilization for the Indian people. Hindi? You know how many different versions of the Indian language there are? I don't know what the digital, I got a headache just thinking about all that. I used to do trainings for nonprofit Christian organizations in the Middle East, North Africa. I cannot even tell you the countries that I was doing the trainings of in that space. I ain't going in there telling them what to do. What are you doing? Is it working? Maybe let's contextualize this. I know we do this over here. What would something like that look for you? How can you adapt that to reach your people? It's a completely different adaptation, which is why contextualization is so important, which is why it's not a 1,000,000-person church. It's 100,000 churches of 10. theChurch.digital could easily work itself. I'm exaggerating with the 1,000,000-person. It could easily be an organization that was all about growth. And we're not about growth. We're about multiplication. It's about multiplying my ideas into Simon, into Tope, into Anesh, and it's not even my idea. Like, and that's even at some level imperialism itself. It's not about me. John 3:30, John the Baptist, he must become greater. I must become less. And so as you're hearing, oh, well, they're going into WhatsApp, Discord's going down. Oh, we're doing this and we're doing this. It's all about contextualizing and equipping people like you to do the ministry God's calling you to do. And that's really the goal. That's the challenge. And that's where we want to go. I'm actually reading right here on the comments. The 270 mother tongues in India, Flat Cap is saying, 122 major languages, almost 1,600 secondary languages in that space. That's crazy. I mean, it's a gospel opportunity. And my point earlier, this is not the face of a man that's going to reach somebody in India, people in India. I can train and I can equip. I'm reminded of the story of the woman who, she asked me, she was learning how to be she wanted to start a South African virtual reality network. And she talked to her leadership. I just published the book, VR Church, VR in the Metaverse Church, virtual reality in the Metaverse Church. And she had asked her leadership, and her leadership had approved it. They actually had gotten to the level of getting a budget, like making me a job offer to become the face of a virtual reality church planting network that was reaching this denomination in South Africa. And it was so funny. Like, I don't know, it was late at night for me. It was probably like 8 or 9. It was a late call, which made it like 2 or 3 in the morning for her. I don't know why we were talking as late as we were with this conversation. And I had this weird look on my face because I'm like, that's the stupidest idea I've ever heard. I think I even told that to her, and she had this weird look. And I was like, look, I don't know anything about South Africa. You don't want me. Now, the South African culture. It's not get me with the knowledge to be your face. It's me and passing that knowledge on to you so that you can be the face, so that you can own this ministry and that. And I mean, literally, like tears coming down this woman's eyes. It's crazy. She's like, you would do that? It's like, yeah. Was it Ronald Reagan? Ronald Reagan. This guy right here. One of the few Funkos I've got here on my desk. There's no limit to the amount of good one can do, as long as he doesn't care who gets credit. And so, as a result of that, the Church Digital's doubling down, multiplying our networks, our communities, and heading to WhatsApp. All right, so let's boil all this down. If you're watching this stream, 40 minutes into this stream, you are somewhat loyal, connected, interested, supporting the Church Digital. Thank you for that. Thank you for being with us through 9 different versions of the Church Digital and all the changes that are happening right now. What I would say is, hold on, it's going to be even more fun. I think this is all the changes for this year. January is going to be fun. Oh my gosh, I can't wait to talk to you about that. But for now, what you need to know is if you're interested in getting connected into helping with WhatsApp, Leighton's your contact. And so hit up Leighton, hit up Flatcap, dive into that and have a conversation with him. I am not looking. I told Leighton, I was like, there's nobody in Discord that's off limits. Like, if you want to approach somebody and ask them to contribute to WhatsApp, go for it. Now, that doesn't mean all of you run over to WhatsApp, but like, it's important for WhatsApp to succeed, even if we lose some leadership in Discord to make it happen. Andy knows that in advance, and so I kind of told him that. And Andy's excited about both communities. I don't want to paint that picture. But the reality is we've got to figure out how to create a welcoming, hospitable community, an active, thriving community before it launches in Korea in front of thousands of people in 6 days. So hang over there. I know the strategy was, let's keep it simple. Let's discover what the audience is and then expand, which is the right play. But feel free to head over to whatsapp.thechurch.digital, new web browser, whatsapp.thechurch.digital, and be part of the community over there. And by the way, if there's questions on any of this, feel free to throw them in. M. Penny is Nintendo nut. That's interesting. I wouldn't have put that together. You didn't seem to me, M. Penny, as a Nintendo nut. I mean, that's a surprising name for me. I don't know why I'm stuck on that, but that kind of caught me off guard. Yeah, nothing wrong. I'm not ripping Nintendo. I've got a Switch. So here's my Switch story. My son, I made a passing comment to my son maybe 6 years ago. This is when one of the Avenger games, one of the Marvel games came out, and it only came out on Switch. And I made a passing comment to my son that I was really looking forward to playing that game, but we don't have a Switch. And my son was probably 4th grade at the time, like this was maybe 5 years ago. And he made a comment to my mom. My birthday was coming up. It was like the Switch game came out, and my birthday was like the next week. And so like pre-orders, it would have been perfect birthday gift. And so he made a comment to my mom that he really wanted to give this game to me and the Switch to me. And my mom, not really understanding like what Switches are. Oh, internet just went out. Am I back? I hope I'm back. My mom, not really understanding. I'm watching at the same time, which is bad. Doobie-doo. I'm going to pretend everything's fine. All right, good. I'm back. My mom, my mom listening to my son describe this, she had no clue what he was talking about and said, okay, CJ, we'll do that. Well, my son thinks like he bought me a Nintendo Switch and in this video game. And so comes birthday, he's excited. He's even like, Mama Reed, I'm so excited for this birthday and plan it up. And they come over to the house and celebrate. Maybe he was 3rd grade. He was a little kid. And comes time to open all the gifts. And it's typical father's birthday, whatever, nothing stellar, but it's all about the family and being together and stuff like that and getting rid of cake. And my son starts to freak out. Where's the Switch? Where's the Switch? Mama Reed, what happened? And he starts yelling. I mean, not like mad, but just like so hyper about, he had this huge plan of what he wanted to do and it didn't happen. And so he was so worked up. My mom ended up saying, all right, Jeff, just go up to the video game store and buy whatever you want. So we went up to the video game store and bought a Switch and bought the video game. And so it's my Switch, but I actually haven't touched that Switch in about 4 years. Because he bogarted, is that the word? He stole, he took, he grabbed that sucker, and he's forever playing Fortnite and Fall Guy and whatever the online games are. Yeah, I'm not that guy. My hardcore gamer days are done, unless it's Fallout. What's the game I play? Fallout on the mobile, where you're running the outpost. Sanctuary, Fallout Shelter. That, yeah, Chino knows. That is the game. That's the game that I'm addicted to. Way too many hours per room. So awesome. here's what we need you to do. We need you to get connected into WhatsApp. And by the way, you're probably learning there's a lot of crap that's going on with with the Church Digital. Like we're constantly evolving, moving, changing. Um, Maybe for the good, maybe for the bad. Because we're just driven with this goal of connecting with people, inviting them into a community, equipping them for digital mission work, digital church planting, digital discipleship, and seeing them be successful in the work by mobilizing them into the space. And so with that goal, we always have to be adapting and growing. I don't know of any other digital mission sending agency that's out there. I mean, there are organizations like He Gets Us and Media Impact International and some of the others that are running ad campaigns that involve dollar figures and call centers, and not bivocational ministry people like what we're talking about here. And so we are really first of its kind in the space, and I don't mind. I don't mind being that guy and working that way, and I love even collaborating through it. But to that end, we've created some things to make it easier for people like you to get connected into what we're doing. Like, it's very easy to get lost, to get overwhelmed. A lot of this is for new people coming into the community, but also there's a lot of people that have been on the fringe, that are onlooking, but not necessarily diving in. And whether you're a newbie or a fringe person, we want to turn you into a blockhead. We want to help you embrace the square peg that's not fitting into a round hole. We want you to discover what digital ministry can be. And so to that end, we're creating some on-ramps, some ways to help you ramp into the church digital and not feel like you're lost into that. And this is something Leighton and Leighton is Flat Cap. Leighton and Chino, Andy are working on, and so we're calling these onboarding sessions the on ramps. And so what we want to do is every couple of weeks, they're doing an online call where they get to know people, ask some questions, learn about the ministry, and help them take their next steps and how the church digital can help them. Whether it's getting connected to the right content that's available, or helping them get connected into a group or a Bible study, or maybe introduce them to somebody that's doing a similar ministry in their space, or maybe even get them connected to the online cohorts that we're doing to help equip digital missionaries. Whatever the end game, we've discovered the what do they call it, the white glove approach. It's a lot easier to have. It's interesting. I really do believe this. It's a lot easier to have a one-person conversation, small conversations, than big. I can lead 10 or 15 people at a time, no problem. You get me in front of 1,000, 5,000, 10,000. I struggle to lead. There are people that can lead, in mass. There's the mega church pastors in that crowd, but I do much better in small environments. And what I found is that small leadership is actually much more reproducible than trying to lead at the large level. And so as we're getting more into the community, it's not a 1 million person church, 100,000 churches of 10. We're starting to think smaller and more relational in that. And in digital, to really, the churches that I've seen shine digitally are not the ones that are broadcast, but they're the ones that are relationally connecting with people as well as the broadcast. Broadcast plays a part, services plays a part, but it's not the end game. And I think that's important for us to remember. So we're offering these on-ramps. I think the first on-ramp is Thursday. We've got some other on-ramps coming up, I think every other Thursday for the next while. And so thechurch.digital/ramp, RAMP, is a great place to get connected to that. If that magically showed up in chat, that'd be awesome. Thechurch.digital/ramp. And then I'm excited about this. We've got, actually, I'm seeing Ian put something in Discord. We've got, I don't know, 10 or 11, maybe a dozen people at this point that are interested in leading and doing online groups this fall. We do in the community space, and I love async. I love async. The ability to get into a Discord or a Slack or WhatsApp, communicate with people around the world regardless of time zone. At 9:00 last night, I'm messaging, putting something in Discord for Barbara. Barbara's like 6 hours ahead. So it's 5 a.m. her time, 3 a.m. her time. She's not moving. When she wakes up, she sees it. She responds back. She's got 2 or 3 hours of work before I get up and move in. And so like the ability for async communication is awesome. And it's vital to a successful digital ministry, and it's vital to digital discipleship. That being said, there's something about looking somebody eye to eye, even in a webcam. And so relationally, we wanted to provide opportunities to meet more people and to get more connected to the church digital. And so we're offering online groups, 4 to 6 weeks, short-term groups, not a large commitment. I mean, yeah, we're going to model how a digital Bible study and online Bible study would work. And the method we're using is a DBS, a Discovery Bible Study. A lot of micro churches use it. It's a very good system. If you're familiar with Rob Wagner and the KC Underground guys, they use this exclusively, and so we're leaning into the DBS model exclusively as well. But what we're doing is we're doing 4 to 6 weeks, but we're reading through. Most of us are reading through a book of the Bible. Like I'm probably going to do the book of Jonah. I think Jonah's 5 chapters. And we're going to discuss a chapter a week. And there's a framework that you go through. DBS is meant to be a scalable solution where I, as the group leader, I don't have to lead every week. Some weeks someone else can lead. Like it's very easy to lead and to go through a DBS. And so as we look at how digital can scale, I think it's important for us to learn how to do a Bible study that's scalable, how we can easily empower others and apprentice others and teach others on how to do this, so that as the digital brings more people in, we can be effective in letting that scale out. And so we've got like I said, 10 or 11 people, maybe 12. I mean, Tope in Africa, ukulele here. I'm leading one. I could rattle off. Whitebeard's leading one. It's close to a dozen of us that are. By the way, if you're interested in leading one, let me know. I mean, we'll get you connected into that. But those are going to be kicking up here right around the corner as well, as we're trying to, once again, build relationships with people. Remember, the people that we're connecting with, we want to get into a community, and within that community, we're building relationships with them enough to get to the point of investing in them as a digital missionary. What I think is important to remember is that this is the digital missionary model. This is the same model as a digital church. So think about this. The people you're connecting with digitally, whether it's sharing Christ in like personal evangelism, content evangelism, you want to invite those people into or even just social media or virtual reality. You want to invite those people into the community to build a relationship with them, to get to the point that you can share Christ and they trust you enough to listen when you share Jesus digitally. Like this community level, if you're a digital church or you're a digital missionary, is crucial, because you'll never get them down to the next level of empowering them of the go and do. Come and see up top is where you're connecting with people and you're putting them in a community to share Jesus. But if you never build trust, you're never going to get them deeper down the funnel. It's all about community, and it's all about trust to get them to get past that, call it the mid-level problem. And so that's Starlith wants to do Jonah. No. Anybody can do Jonah. I'm not. Listen, another good book is James. I just came off my pastor at the physical church just did maybe 4 or 5 week study on Jonah. And so like it's just fresh in my head because I heard a lot of it. James, it was funny. It's open, but Andy and I we were Discording, DM back and forth on like whether we were going to have set curriculum or leave it open. And he was typing on his keyboard or phone, let's leave it open, but if anybody wants to do something, if they don't know what to do, we'll just tell them to do James. And at the same moment he pressed send, I was typing on my phone, I'm completely fine if anybody wants to do anything, but if they're looking for an option, we should recommend James. And so like both of us are like, James is like the best. I don't know if I can say ass on this. Can I say ass on this stream? James is like the best book to kick somebody's butt in the Bible quickly. Like they're all good for a pal moment, but James is like the penultimate example of, oh crap, God just, swung a sledgehammer at me. So I think we should have a VeggieTales song battle to see who does Jonah. I don't know if you know this, Ukulele. This is an interesting story. You'll appreciate this. I actually, true story, 100%. I had a lawsuit against me in the year 1996 by Big Idea, who actually sued me because I had a VeggieTales-based website online. True story. 1996, Big Idea did not even have a website launched. And I was a college student. And as a college student on a TCU server, as part of a college class, I built arguably the second largest VeggieTales website on the internet at the time. I'm talking thousands of hits a day. The most popular website I've ever built in my second most popular website I've ever built in my life was the VeggieTales website. And I had a VHS encoder to a computer, and I had grabbed screen captures, which is not a big deal now. But in 1996, that was like the wild, wild west. And so people were on there; they were grabbing the screen captures because there's the only real graphics that were around. So yeah, VeggieTales. Just saying. I could sing every song to you. But yeah, they sued me, and they sued TCU as well. And so the dean of the communication school, I'm pretty sure it was communications at the time, calls me in and says, "Well, I need to tell you that you've been sued by this company called Big Idea, and they sued TCU as well, Texas Christian University. First off, who is Big Idea? And then secondly, what did you do to deserve this?" He had no clue. And I was like, and it's literally reading this paper and trying to, it was 1996. Nobody even knew what the internet was. And yeah, that was fun. It was funny. There was a read rule that discussed how to like put images and content that wasn't yours on, like respecting IP, putting it on the internet. Because that was the one thing that I didn't do. So yeah, VeggieTales cuts deep. By the way, my most popular website, you're talking about WWE, my most popular Christian website that was multiple thousands of hits a day was the Christian Wrestling Federation. There was actually a traveling group. I don't know if they still exist. It was back in the 2000s. They were one of my clients when I was doing web design. They actually traveled around America. I don't want to judge my wrestling fans by saying this was a little white trash. This was a little blue collar kind of Midwest kind of feel. But dude, it was freaking popular. And they had like their own wrestlers with their own personalities and so like, but the marketing assets, the graphics and the videos, oh man, it was so cool. And it just, we had a community. I mean, this is like 2000, 2001. This is before Facebook was Facebook. So we had messages boards on there where like community was just built around this idea of the Christian Wrestling Federation, and people all over the planet were Googling like Christian wrestling, like the news was covering it. And yeah, it got a lot of so wrestling and VeggieTales. Things you did, wrestling, VeggieTales, and WhatsApp. 3 things you weren't expecting to hear on today's stream. Hey, this has been fun, and I wasn't trying to wrap at an hour. If Whitebeard Punk Monk, it really still is Christian Wrestling Federation. That's awesome. I wonder, I can't think of their names right now. I told the story, but I had 100 website clients back in the day. I used, never got into Microsoft front page, hated front page extensions, but I used Go Live Cyber Studio, if you remember that. Adobe Page Mail, then it was Go Live Cyber Studio, and then Adobe bought Go Live Cyber Studio and turned it into Adobe Go Live. And then Adobe bought Micromedia Dreamweaver, Adobe Dreamweaver, like those were the softwares I used for back in the day. All right, I may be done. So what do you all want to talk about today? Any thoughts as we're wrapping up? No? Nothing? Bueller. I watched that the other day with my kids. Took them through I was for my birthday. That was my birthday gift. I made the kids watch Ferris Bueller's Day Off. That holds up well. All right. I'm going to land the plane. It's been a lot of fun. Hey, pray for us. Like I said, I think this is my last stream this week. And then Friday, I get on a plane at 5 a.m. To fly to Dallas and meet JMO. And then we're on a plane for 17 hours heading to Korea. So I'm going to kill almost a day and a half, if not 2 days, on a plane heading out to Korea. And so we're going to be, the conference runs Sunday. Sunday we'll set up the booth, and then we'll be at the conference Monday through Friday, and then we fly back Saturday. I think I lose 2 hours on the flight back for Saturday. So, man, we're going to be in Korea. We were talking. I was thinking about trying to stream from Korea, and that's probably a bad idea. Just because, it's not really. Like the events, it's 13 hours. And so when it's 3:00 in the afternoon, it's going to be 3 a.m. here. So time zones don't make sense. And I'm not necessarily speaking. It's kind of running a booth. So if there's any streamable stuff, I may do it. But what I feel may happen is I probably won't sleep at in the middle of the night. And so I may just jump in from the hotel and do an open office at 3 a.m. my time, which will be 2 here, or do a stream from a ridiculous hour in the middle of the night just to say, hey, go knock on JMO's door when he's half asleep and see what he looks like and see if he wants to join in a conversation. So pray for us heading over there. Pray that God opens the doors that he's going to open, and that we're wise stewards of the opportunities he bestows. All right. Hey, I'm going to sign out. Thanks, y'all. I feel like I'm landing a plane on a podcast. For myself, this is Jeff with theChurch.digital, founder of theChurch.digital. Thanks for hanging out with us today, and we'll see you next time here on the stream. Y'all have a good one.